Dear Otto, thank you very much for accepting our invitation for the Polish Chemical Congress and for the roundtable discussion. Today we heard a lot about the ideas of the simplification, but could you give us a little bit detail what the simplification actually means? Is it mean like the chemical industry would like to hear it? Is it understood as a burden reduction, or maybe more like looking for the more policy coherence?
Thank you very much also for the invitation. It was a very interesting discussion. I really enjoyed it. And I think it really shows also where the nuts and bolts are to define what, for example, simplification means. Of course, it also means reduction of burden and costs for companies. And I think that's a core piece of what we have in mind. But it's not only that. I think it's, of course, also looking into what are the issues that we have on the table. Some of the issues are simply necessities that we need to address. For example, how to identify endocrine disruptors. But here we need to think about how can we make it in a way that is least costly for industry and that is balanced. And then, of course, it's not only the burden reduction for industry. I think we also need to simplify procedures, simplify the life of authorities, and make sure that what we promise we can actually deliver.
Thank you for that. I hope that this discussion also give you the opportunity to take some of our members' experience and new ideas for the future simplification. Otto, how did DigiGrow see the current balance between the regulatory ambition and the necessity of the competitiveness?
Well, I think firstly what we should achieve is actually both. We should achieve a regulatory ambition, protection of health and the environment, and the competitiveness, and they are not necessarily a contradiction. Sometimes they are, and sometimes clearly we need to take a cautious and proportionate approach, and that's certainly also the tune of the day. So we are going to do that, but ultimately what we should achieve is that in the end we find areas where both are synergies and where we can protect the environment, we can create business opportunities, and in that way we can also help industries.
Thank you very much. We're very looking forward for this balanced approach. Otto, is the current trajectory of the REACH revision is going with the track of more strategic EU goals like resilience, strategic autonomy, and competitiveness?
Well, we have gone a long way from the chemical strategy to where we are today. I think clearly the chemical strategy started with a very green ambition. And then in between came already under the previous commission a number of events that really changed parameters, like the COVID crisis, then the war in Ukraine, but also more aggressive trade policies that we're seeing popping up on all sides. And that clearly required an adjustment of our plans. And that's precisely what we are working on. So the REACH revision compared to what was originally envisaged will be different. That's clear. Although it will still address many of the same issues, because clearly those were the ones that we have experienced problems in reality.
Thank you very much. Do you think that the Critical Chemical Act can be part of this adjustments exercise?
I think it will be complementary. The Critical Chemicals Act is not necessarily only, let's say, legislative measures, but I think we need to think in a holistic picture about where are the vulnerabilities of Europe and where is action needed to make sure that on the most critical molecules we have sufficient production in Europe and that we have the necessary independence that we might need in case, let's say, there are world events that would put Europe under pressure.
Thank you very much.